What is going on, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Expected Bets for your go-to podcast for all things hockey betting. I am Gator Betting, joined by Franco the Banker today. Gretzky Betskis will be on in a bit. Franco, how we doing?
Good. It's we're getting close to the holiday season over here, so I got the little kids and it's starting to be mayhem here. So ready for that, working a ton, and I'm not real excited about the slate tonight, let's put it that way. I'm more excited to dig into tomorrow. So I think we power through these bad boys, and there's a lot more to talk about for tomorrow, let's put it that way.
Yeah, a lot of losing streaks tonight. So, obviously some news around the NHL, some goaltender trades. Trouba is going to make his first debut for Anaheim, which we could talk about in a bit. But, with that being said, let's just get into the first matchup. So we have Detroit at Buffalo tonight. Detroit's on a 5-game losing streak. Buffalo's on a 6-game losing streak. They've been outscored 21-11 during that span. Franco, this team is just hopeless. We talked about it before the show. The Sabres are just a mess of an organization, franchise, whatever you want to call it. They're complete in disarray. Start of the season, I was excited to watch this team. Obviously, there were some high hopes of maybe making the playoffs. They come off that West Coast road trip. They look pretty good. Since then, they've lost 6 straight and just look absolutely horrendous. The loss of Dahlin obviously hurts this team. But, in every way, they have just failed up 4-0 against Colorado, lose that game, lose to Winnipeg in overtime. So enough bitching about the Sabres, though. Any plays in Detroit, Buffalo tonight?
So this is one I've really kind of been back and forth on. My initial thought was to fade the Wings because of their starting Husso, who's been pretty bad this year. He hasn't won a game yet. 0-4-2. And obviously, like you said, they're on a 5-game losing streak. So it's like, oh, that looks great. But then you think about backing Buffalo is
it's
not good for anyone's health.
I'll put it that way. Yeah, it's a very scary thought.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I don't want to take a side here. History-wise leans more to the over between these two teams, but they feel like both of them feel offensively inept. But then again, you go back to the goaltending, and it's like on any given day, if you were to tell me it's Reimer versus Husso, I would be
James Reimer revenge game.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I feel like he's played for so many friggin' teams at this point.
I know. But I was gonna say you're the revenge angle guy, and there's the angle of the night: James Reimer revenge.
Yes, but I feel like usually if you see those two guys in net, you'd be thinking it's an over just without even thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
But with these offenses being inept as well, it's like I feel like there's so many arrows pointing in every direction. It makes it really hard to really feel good either way. I might sprinkle the draw just because this feels like who could be more inept type of thing. With both teams not wanting to lose, so to speak, especially like if this is 2-2 late or even 1-1, like with 9 minutes left or 8 minutes left, who's really gonna push that extra juice or put that that extra defenseman that pinches forward or whatever, or is it going to be like, all right, let's just not lose this game, let's just get to overtime and at least get a point out of this? I feel like both teams are in such a bad spot right now that anything is good. So I might take the draw. That might be the only side I would take.
James Reimer over 25.5 saves tonight. Buffalo has allowed 28, 31, and 41 shots against in their last 3 games. Detroit is at 30, 20, and 25, 31, 28 shots for in their last 5. My thought on this is Buffalo's defensive unit has been so bad, like we mentioned before, in the last few games. They're without Dahlin, they're without Samuelsson. Owen Power, now at 20 years old, is their number 1 guy. We can look at his props later because I think there is some value on that. But again, I just don't see any sort of help. Like the Sabres switched up their lineup again today. Krebs is now in the top lineup with Tuck and Thompson. I think Reimer at 25.5, that's awfully low for the defensive unit of the Buffalo Sabres to put that much trust in him.
Yeah, I could see that. I haven't really been betting many goalie props this year. I don't know why. It's just been kind of one of those unpredictable markets for me. But I don't mind that that look. That's probably a good angle there.
Yeah, that is an interesting point that Russell brings up here. Larkin asking for a trade to try to go to a contender. He's kind of sick of this Yeiser plan that has been in the works for the past few seasons. In terms of an angle, I don't know if I have a particular one. I guess you would only be looking for an over of him trying to draw the attention of a contending team to make a move for him. I think that would be my angle. Did you have a similar take, or are you leaning more towards an under a play in this Larkin kind of trade rumor situation?
So I actually have a 3-leg goal parlay that I'm gonna run tonight
Okay.
across the 3 games, and he's one of the legs. Great history against this team. Let's pull it up real quick here. Yeah, hit in 6 of 11 games, but particularly he's had 3 2-goal games in those across those 11 games, and he scored in 4 of his last 5 against them. 2 2-goal games in that 5-game stretch. So, as spotty as he's been, I mean, he has not been good by any stretch recently.
No.
2 goals in his last 10, 0 goals in his last 5. I mean, he's just not been the guy that we're used to seeing. Only 11 goals in the season. So, but with that being said, I feel like, that this kind of adds a little bit to his reason to play a little bit better. You can't ask for a trade when you're not producing. Well, I mean, I guess you can, but it's not going to help your
He did.
value or your market. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he did, but like you said, no Samuelson. He's been out for a while at this point. No Darlene. I like Larkin to get to record a goal tonight. The only other prop I kind of like, as far as the straight goes, would be Zucker point on the Sabres side. It's bettable. He's on the well, actually, no, he's not on the top line anymore. So I'm going to pivot off of that. It looks like Krebs is on the top line today.
Yep, it's Krebs, Tuck, and Thompson to start us off tonight.
Yeah, damn it.
What are
Okay, never mind.
what are your thoughts on this Detroit kind of team situation here? Your captain's asking for a trade.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good look, obviously, but the team's a train wreck right now. I don't understand how Lalonde still has a job at this point, right? What has this team done that has granted him any kind of leeway? I know you can't just fire coaches, left and right, but we've already seen one fall to start this, or well, 2 actually.
Yeah, we'll talk
Technically.
about it in the next game. 2
So
fall.
yeah, 2 fall, and then if you include Bannister as well.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, that's 3 coaches that have already been shown the door. What's why is Detroit keeping Lalonde at this point? I get the Sabres keeping Lindy because they kind of have to. They just brought him
They
in.
just
It's
hired
not
him
like
this offseason. Yeah.
yeah, they can't like fire him immediately, but Lalonde has been there long enough. This team has not been good enough. And now your captain's asking for out. So maybe we'll see something happen. I feel like this game is kind of like that type of game where that it can kind of spark this, especially if the Sabres get a win.
Yeah. I don't think either of us have a play on the side or total in this one, so we'll go straight to props. You already mentioned Larkin as one of your legs for a 3-leg parlay for anytime goal score. We talked about this other one too. Kulik over 1.5 shots on goal. 6 games ago, it was bettable. Now he's still at that 1.5 line, and it's at -198 tonight. The interesting part of Kulik is that he sits at that 2 mark, right? It's not like he's really exceeding it. He did against Minnesota, where he had 5 shots on goal on 6 attempts. However, his last 5 games, he's averaged 2 straight across the board, hasn't gone above or below that number, hit that 1.5 shots on goal mark in each of those games. His attempts are there for sure, 4, 6, 4, 2, 6. So he's shooting the puck, but it almost feels like this play is out the window and it's kind of just now moving into that parlay piece category.
Yeah, well, fortunately, there's a decent amount of over 1.5 shot props tonight to kind of pair him with. So it just depends on how crazy you want to get with it. If you just want to get two guys at 2 to get plus 100 plus 110 or whatever, I could see that. But I do like him a lot as that type of piece tonight. And like you said, unfortunately, it's not bettable straight anymore. But yeah, I mean, you can pair him with a couple different guys that we'll go over when we get to these other games. But I like him for sure as a potential piece.
Detroit also gives up the 6th most shots on goal to forwards this season. So that's another kind of angle that plays into this. I've seen some people on Tage Thompson. He missed his last game after being a Four Nations face-off snub. He did score, though. So that is kind of interesting. Maybe just take Tage for an anytime goal scorer tonight. Their power play hasn't been that great as of late, but Detroit is has had their PK has been awful, actually, allowing a goal in 5 of their last 6 games. Buffalo's power play only has 3 goals in their last 10. Another straight, though, that I wanted to point out, we talked about it before. Owen Power, over half a point, is at even money tonight. He's become that number one guy on this defensive unit. He now leads the Sabres in ice time. He's basically taken over Dahlin's role. He's on that power play 1. He's on their first unit defensively. He's hit in his last few games as well. So that would be the only straight that I have in this game. I didn't know your thoughts on it or kind of where you were looking, if you had any.
I don't mind grabbing him just because he's getting that boost in time. But I don't really want to put too much into this game. Unfortunately, Zucker was the one I had circled, but with him moving down, not that it's necessarily a bad thing. I guess he's with McLeod and Benson, but he's been productive recently. He's had a point in 3 straight games, and he's still in the top power play. So that would be kind of the only really straight angle I would look at, I think, personally. But yeah, not too much interest in this game, really.
No. All right, let's move on then. The next game up, we have Chicago at New York. After a hot start to the season, the Rangers have been ice cold. They are 2-7 in their last 9, giving up 38 goals against. Chicago is on a 5-game losing streak as well. So just 2 great games to start off this slate. I don't have a play on the Sider total. The Rangers are minus 265. The total is set at 6. Juice the under at minus 112. I think Shesterkin's going to go for them. But I pointed out a play earlier on the prop side. Riley Smith over 1.5 shots on goal. I will pull up my explanation in a bit. But Franco, let's start with you. Any plays in this one?
Yeah, I think there could be goals here. So there's one problem with that, and it's Shesterkin's coming back. He just had a kid. So that could be like that bump. I know typically goal scorers have that baby bump, as we call it. So does a goaltender get a baby bump? I don't know. He's also coming on. He just got his big contract finally too. So he's kind of got like 2 factors playing into like the positive for him. But at the same time, I don't know. Is that 2 positives or is it like too much kind of? So he hasn't been
negative. Yeah,
I know, right? Whatever you want to say, but yeah, he hasn't been great this year. And I know the Blackhawks are pretty brutal offensively, obviously, but they finally got their coaching change, like you said.
First game was second game as a head coach, looking for his first win.
Yeah, looking for his first win. They started out decent. They scored 2 goals in the first period. So maybe like he's going to like unlock this offense that has been awful to say the least to start the season. And like I said, Shesterkin hasn't been particularly great. So couple plays I've circled. The first one I'm going to go light on here is Alex Vlasic for a point. Plus 185 for a point for him.
Insane value.
He's been, I mean, how long? Seth Jones is still out, I guess. So he's been the guy. He's been on the top power play, top minutes guy for them at this point. And if this shift sees him being a guy that's going to like step up more into the offensive zone, I don't mind taking a shot at him. You're getting him in almost plus 200 for a point, plus 185. And I'm going to sprinkle his goal because I'm that type of person that does that.
Makes sense.
He has a goal in 2 straight games. So points in 4 of his last 5, but goals in 2 straight. His goal prop is plus 1,000 you might be able to shop that and get even better. So obviously small place here, but like I said, top power play, top defensive pair, getting a ton of minutes. I've bet stupider things before. Let's put it that way. So
Yeah,
I don't mind taking a shot at it.
he is logging more minutes as of late and then the other thing too is the Rangers just take so many penalties. I think they're the fourth most penalized team this season. So he's going to get an opportunity on the power play as well tonight. He's on that PP1, so I don't mind that play at all. But going back to Riley Smith, he's hit his mark in 3 of his last 4 games with an average of 3 shots on goal and 4.25 shot attempts. At home, he's hit in 53.8% compared to just 41.7% on the road. Chicago ranks 27th in shots on goal allowed, and they've also given up the 7th most shots on goal to forward this season. Despite New York's offensive woes, they do shoot the puck. They're 6th in shots on goal per game, and at home, that number jumps up about a shot and a half. I like the spot a lot. He's been great lately. And then also, he's hit in each of his last 5 games against Chicago. So you're getting that at minus 135 tonight at that 1.5 mark. We've seen more guys transition. They've kind of been more reliable than anything at that 1.5 mark this season. It's interesting before compared to last seasons where you go kind of the big dogs, the 3.5, 2.5, sometimes even 4.5. So that's what I like in this game. Also had a shots on goal leader. DraftKings offers this new market. It's the only game that they offer the shots on goal leader today. Panarin's in the clubhouse. He's the favorite at plus 390. Trocheck is at 7-1. Kreider is at 7.5-1. Panarin's gone under his 3.5 shots on goal mark in 6 of his last 7 games. Trocheck is the other guy that I was maybe looking at. But Trocheck has been decent as of late. Let me pull it up. Where's Trocheck? All the way down at the bottom here. So Trocheck's hit in 2 of his last 3 games, looking at a wider margin, 4 of his last 6. He did have that spike where he had 7 against New Jersey. But looking at his head-to-head against Chicago, the most shots on goal in his last 4 games have been 4. At home, he hasn't been, I don't think, as consistent this season. Let me pull it up. 42.9% hitting the over at home. On the road, he's at 50%. My play in this was Chris Kreider at plus 750. I think there's a value there. He's hit this number in 3 of his last 4 games against Chicago. In the games he hit, he had 7, 6, and 3. As of late, too, his shot attempts have been much better. He had 8 against Seattle, where he had 6 shots on goal. He went under against Pittsburgh, where he had 1 shots on goal on 3 attempts. And then before that, against New Jersey, he had 5 shots on goal on 7 attempts. Kreider at 750, plus 750 tonight. I think there's value. So I will be probably sprinkling a 1/4 of a unit on that.
Nice. I like the value. 7 plus 750 is not bad. And he's had some spikes historically versus them and recently. So I like it.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting Panarin at plus 390. Obviously, Panarin's attempts are crazy, but again, he's just not hitting the net.
Yeah.
So if that changes, that's obviously kind of an outlier variable that you have to factor in. But I think Kreider at plus 750 tonight, maybe he ends up with 5 or 6, and I think that should probably do it.
I like it. That's a good value, man, for sure.
All right. Any other plays? We talked about Donato bumping him down to that 1.5 mark you were talking about.
Yeah. So two things with Donato. So first of all, I like his 2.5 straight. If you look at him just overall, he's 6 of his last 10, hitting the 2.5 line. But then if you move him to away, he's been much more productive. He's 8 of his last 10 on the road, including a lot of 4s and 5s in there. He missed against Philly and missed against San Jose. Of course, that doesn't make any sense. But the attempts are solid. So at plus money, you're looking at plus 130 for his 2.5. I like that a lot. I feel like that's really good value. I don't think he's really in contention for that leader prop that you were talking about, because I was kind of thinking about that, but it doesn't seem like he gets high enough to get up there. But yeah, I love him at 2.5 for a straight. And then if you want to use his 1.5, because his 2.5's at plus 130, so his 1.5 should be pretty decent. I mean, as a piece, obviously minus 240. So again, you put him with Kulik, you're going to get probably plus money there. So don't mind that either if you want to look at it. The other thing I have two. So to continue that goal scorer parlay, we had Larkin. I'm going to do Larkin and Kreider, and it kind of plays into what you said. He's been firing a ton. And for whatever reason, this guy it seems like he kills certain teams. We joked about it when he hit against the Devils a couple of games ago. You know, he hasn't scored in what's his goal been? He's had a goal in barely any games overall, right? 2 in his last 10. So, but yeah, of course he scored against New Jersey in that game because he always scores against New Jersey. Well, guess what? He always scores against Chicago. 4 of his last 6, 4 of his last 5.
Wow.
So I'll take that as well. Like, I don't love his prop straight just because at plus 175, given what he's been, it's not good value. That's why I'm just going to run him and Larkin and my last one that we'll get to in a minute. But just give me 3 of them together to get a little bit more value. And then I do like Trocheck goal as well. 4 goals in his last 5, been red hot. Like you said, kind of spiking with shots as well. But yeah, goals in 4 of his last 5. I like that as a straight. I am going to take that at plus 210.
Who is that again?
Trocheck.
I like it. So I did just put together that little parlay that we talked about, bumping Donato down from that 1.5 mark. So that's going to get it at minus 240 plus Kulik at minus 180. You parlay those 2 picks together, that's plus 120.
That's what I'm saying, man. You take 2 and it's easy. It's easy plus money, and you just need 2 shots from them. So that's great value.
Yeah.
Is Kulik and Trocheck?
Kulik
Donato.
and Donato.
At 2.
Yeah.
You bumped Donato down from 2.5 to 1.5. And you're still getting plus 120 on those 2 picks. So I like that a lot. Betsky, welcome.
Hello.
Did you have any plays, I guess, in the first 2 games? We kind of talked about Buffalo Detroit more than we thought we would.
Okay. Did you talk about Panarin playing against his former team?
We did not. I had a varying play to fade Panarin tonight.
You didn't think about Panarin playing the Blackhawks.
I know, man. What the hell's wrong with me?
Are you looking at his point or shots?
His I always
goals.
take him as points. So 2 points is plus 110. 3 points is plus 500, and he's done that like 3 of the last.
Yep, 3 of the last 6.
Yeah.
Damn it, Betsky.
Yeah, and if you go back in this history, it goes way further.
Yeah, I do remember. It's pretty insane.
Like this. It really insane. Like the miss from his last game actually almost gives me more confidence in where the Rangers currently are. This is apparently a must-win game for them because potentially Laviette may be on the outs if they drop this one.
Wow.
Like there's just so much to go in that direction.
Rangers and Reg minus 145. If this is a must-win game, there's some value on that for sure.
Yeah.
But again, Franco made a good point.
Point and then the win in Reg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Franco made a good
point.
Then
you can ladder up the rest. Then you do 2 points as a straight and 3 points. And if you really,
so
really
Betsky, do you think that Shesterkin gets a baby bump / new contract bump, or is it 2 positives make a negative?
Well, what do you want from him? 23 saves? Or you're saying a shutout?
I'm just saying shutting them down and getting the win. He's not been good this year, like by any stretch.
No, he hasn't.
So are we to expect what we've seen, or this new found man?
You're not getting a good price for his saves. I want to alt his saves against the Blackhawks.
No, I just meant in general. Like, is he going to have a good performance? Like, can we bet Blackhawks props, or is it one of those things where he's just going to shut the door? They're going to win 5-1 or something like that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know why you would want to bet Blackhawks point props to begin with. So
yeah, that's fair.
Well,
I like Alex Vlasic.
Actually tonight.
I like Alex Vlasic. I like Alex Vlasic point and goal. Yeah, just wait, man. I'm telling you.
I do like to play as well. I had him circled. All right. Any other plays in
I
this
love that
one?
Donato Kulik thing. I actually had Kulik written down. I was trying to find a nice piece, and then I was looking at Donato. And I was like, I don't know if I want to dump it. Jump
I
into
have Fox as well at 1.5 looks really good
Yep.
too.
Yeah,
Game.
I'm half waiting for that to kind of slip.
Yeah, but
But
he's got the bump with Trouba out. I feel like
totally.
Riley Smith 1.5 too.
yeah, that's straight though. You can bet that straight. So
Yeah.
you can get pretty wild with the 1.5 lines if you really want to.
Yeah, I had an insane one the other night.
Yeah, I saw you hit
something. And then somebody shared that they took all 5 guys for 3 and it hit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, Sanderson, Bunting, Forsling, Holloway, and Colton.
Nice.
Yeah,
the 1.5 lines. The 1.5 lines have been good, man. They've been good to me, and yeah.
All right, last game of the night. The Ducks are taking on the Canadians. The Habs are minus 162 on the money line. The total is set at 6, minus 118 to the over. Jacob Trouba makes his Anaheim debut tonight. Franco, I know we talked about this before the show. Kind of maybe his one prop where he would add any value would be his blocks. However, I don't see that offered by the books tonight. So we're going to have to pivot a little bit. Betsky, you just joined us, so I'll let you start us off with any plays in Anaheim, Montreal.
I'm just taking Caulfield shots as a straight. Usually I like him to parlay. Maybe if you want to use him as more of a parlay piece, 2.5 feels safe. Dostal saves has been killer.
Gibson's expected.
Gibson's expected. I still don't mind it. I don't know where the Canadians sit for shots for is my only thing. And there goes the camera.
They are
torso.
They are last in the league in shots for.
And here's my face
this season.
They're last in shots for.
Yep.
See, it's one of those things to me. It's like I want to do a Dostal saves prop real bad, but why tonight? If they're on this road trip, that probably means they're going to be playing Toronto. Oh no, that's like in a month.
So they do play next 3 games. They play Ottawa, Toronto. They play Toronto in a back-to-back.
Give me the Ottawa game if Dostal's in that night or whichever goalie is.
Yeah,
Ottawa's firing away. Toronto's probably is another one that, as long as they can keep it close. But
Franco, a few props jumped out to me. I'm curious to see if you're on any of these. Lane Hudson over half a point. You can even look at his assist. Line A is hitting 2 of his last 3 games since returning from injury. He's looked pretty good. That's at a bettable price tonight. Even his shots on goal have been good. And then Betsky, like we talked about before, Cole Caulfield over 3.5 shots on goal. I have that as a straight tonight. He's been great against Anaheim in the past. He's hitting 3 of his last 4 overall. In his last 4 games, he's averaging 4.5 shots on goal and 5.75 attempts. He hasn't been good this season in terms of clearing his mark overall, but at home he has been more consistent. So I like it a lot. And you're getting it at plus 110 tonight on DraftKings.
It's just it's not a piece I feel confident enough to parlay because of the recent history, but at plus money value, it's just like such a nice straight.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree.
And I do love that Hudson point.
A lot. I'm going through the comments right now. A lot of people are on Montreal money line tonight. There's a few better prices out there than that minus 162 on DraftKings.
I just wish we were getting a better number.
But again,
I think Montreal wins tonight. So
I think they do too. Yeah.
But again, I really like line A shots too. I don't know if I'm willing to take it all the way to 4, but 3 is another parlay piece.
Would you look almost at Montreal and Reg?
That looks tasty.
Minus 105.
Yeah, that would be my pivot. I don't want to take minus 140 on Montreal.
But then you got to hope you're not getting goalied.
Yeah,
and that goes Gibson to OT. But
maybe you do like a grab that for like a half unit before the game, and then hope that Anaheim scores first somehow, and then take Montreal money line. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Minus 132. That's
a
a bettable
good
price for
yeah. I don't want to be laying minus 150, minus 160. That's just kind of craziness.
Profit.
Yeah.
Huh.
So as far as plays here, I got the last leg for that goal scorer parlay. So we had Larkin and Kreider. I'm going to go Caulfield here. It's pretty straightforward here. Obviously, you guys are talking about going for his 4 shots on goal. He's pissed that he didn't make the Four Nations roster, obviously.
This is kind of a Four Nations roster, I guess, exemption list too. Tage missed. Panarin can't play because they don't have a team. Caulfield also got snubbed, so this is kind of your angle as well too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing to look at. And I mean, the first game off of that, he had 6 shots. Obviously, he didn't score in that first game. 5 shots against Washington, who's very stingy against shots. He did finally get a goal in that one. So, I think he's going to be firing a ton. And just by the nature of that, you're playing against Anaheim, you should be able to score a few goals. I like him a lot. So those 3 together that's my goal lay. I do like the Hudson point prop. I'm definitely sprinkling his power play point prop as well, because you just have to. I wish we were getting as good a value as we were before. We were looking at like plus 500 before. Now it's down to like the plus 300 range. But Anaheim's penalty kill stinks. They give up a lot of penalties, and you can't take the numbers for Montreal's power play as they are in their current state. I think they don't even rank that bad overall. I think they're around like 12th or 14th or something like that. But adding line A just gives that different dimension. Now it's not everything needs to be fed to Caulfield. You have line A and Caulfield as snipers with Suzuki and Hudson setting everything up. And it's just, this is kind of what like I envisioned this team to be when the season started. Hudson and Suzuki being playmakers and having 2 like bona fide goal scorers on this team. Having to lose Line so early, not even getting to see him to start the season sucked. And then them refusing to play Hudson on the top power play and didn't make any sense. It took that Matheson injury for them to be like, oh, this guy looks pretty good on the top power play. So, keep him up there, guys, and he looks good. I like this place. Gallagher's another player for the shots at 1.5 that looks really good as well. I don't even know what year it is that we're talking about Brendan Gallagher, but here we are. He's hitting 7 of his last 10, 4 straight at that 1.5 mark. Against them, historically, he's hit. I mean, it's only 1 game, I guess. There's got to be a longer game log than that. I can't imagine.
All I have is 1 game too.
Yeah, that's all it's popping on props.cash. But yeah, overall, he's just been really solid. And better at home, I believe. Yeah, better at home, 80% at home. So again, not bettable straight, but plenty of those 1.5 guys tonight. So I like him a lot. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so if you did Donato at 1.5, Kulik at 1.5, and then Gallagher at 1.5 plus 253.
Yeah, that's a nice price.
That's your 1.5 shots on goal parlay.
I love that. Let's do that as the expected bets one.
All right.
Put it in right now.
It works.
I'm down for that. I haven't bet it yet. So.
And you may want to just tweet it out real quick.
Yeah. I'm going to type it in the chat
tomorrow.
Or Franco, do you want to type it in the chat?
Do
you not have access?
Because I'm not. I'll be back on that chat soon. Unfortunately, we've had some technical difficulties with that. But
it wasn't after you got called all those names last week.
Oh my god, that was insane. That was insane.
Yeah, that was credit to them.
If you can get like a Caulfield Suzuki point prop parlay, I don't mind that either. As just like another kind of angle in this game. I think that can be bet pretty much every game, I feel like. And
right now
I'm mad about it.
Yep.
There was a point.
All right, so I just pinned that comment. So that's our shots on goal parlay. Donato 2+, Kulik 2+, Gallagher 2 plus awesome. 253 on DraftKings. If you are new to DraftKings, you can get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 using promo code THPN. Also, I know a lot of people go home for the holidays. Maybe you're going back to see your hometown team play. Be sure to use Game Time, promo code THPN. You get $20 off your first purchase. Any other looks for tonight? Do you want to recap your card quickly, Franco?
Yeah. In Buffalo, Detroit, I was looking at Zucker Point. I'm going to get off of that, though. That game, really, I don't have much except for that 3-goal lay, which I'll just start with that. Larkin, Caulfield, and Kreider together. Moving on to the Chicago-New York game, I like Donato at 2.5 shots as a straight. I like Trocheck goal as a straight. And I like Vlasic point and his goal prop for a sprinkle. Those are both a smaller play, but he's just been red hot. And then for that last game, the Anaheim and Montreal, I do like Montreal, but the money line has gotten out of hand at this point, so I don't mind taking that in reg for like a half unit. Give me Suzuki and Caulfield point parlay, and then really that's the Hudson point prop and his power play point as well as straights. And all those 1.5 shot props, I don't mind. Just you got to find the right pieces together. But I think the one we put together is really good. So I'm going to roll with that.
Yeah, Betsky, did you have your card for tonight all set? Or are you still making some final adjustments?
Yeah, I got Panarin 2 points for plus 100 and then 3 points for plus 500. Just a little sprinkle there. You could even
I'm adding both of those.
Dash that.
I'm adding both of those. Sorry. Go ahead.
Tage plus Raymond point is plus 120, which feels really nice with just how hot they are. Then I'm doing Caulfield 3.5 straight. That's plus 106. I just sprinkled the Hudson power play point as well. And then me and Cappy just push something out for Prize Picks that does involve the Zucker point, which I do like, but I kind of want to take it as like a full parlay to just try to get some extra value. So we found some nice pieces on Prize Picks. So check that out on Twitter. Also, sup Breezy, I see you in the chat there. And then I'm tailing your goal A as well, Franco. I really like that one, and Cappy's. I think this is a night. It seems like the Stars are kind of heating up again. Yeah, and I feel like they get betting in NHL is really nice in this December time period before the holiday break, and then January goes really, really weird.
Yep.
So trying to take advantage of kind of some of the chalkier plays right now isn't bad. And if you look across the board, it's people are doing the right things.
A lot of chalk tonight.
Yeah. The other one I was going to suggest is a power play point on the Rangers. I think this is a really good spot for them to get going again. The problem is picking the right guy.
One. Yeah.
Ooh,
what book is that on? I know it's not.
Adam dropped it, I think.
Adam
maybe
posted a few of those plays before.
They have it somewhere. I gotta look. Them is that bettable straight though? Normally in a game like this, given the matchup, Rangers are gonna be like minus 140, I would guess.
Yeah. All right. Quick card here. Riley Smith over 1.5 shots on goal. Chris Kreider shots on goal leader at plus 750 on DraftKings. And then I have Cole Caulfield over 3.5 shots on goal. And then again, our parlay is Donato 2+ shots on goal. Yuri Kulik 2+ shots on goal. And then Brendan Gallagher 2+ shots on goal. That's going to be plus 253 on DraftKings. Franco, before we moved on here, I did have one comment. Peyton Krebs moves up to that top line with Tuck and Thompson, plus 550 for an anytime goal scorer tonight. That's right up your alley. You've made a few of those bets this season. Is that on the radar, or is that completely off given how bad the Sabres have been the past few games?
Hold on, because I think that he actually has a decent history versus them. Nope, I lied. It was somebody random like him that had a good history against them that I was like, oh, this guy. I mean, maybe I could see it.
I I just want
I
to
just
toss
don't.
it out there. That's some insane value for a guy in the
Yeah,
first line. It's
yeah,
kind of like
yeah.
when Nyes jumped up for Toronto. His point was
The
bettable.
price is right. The price
Yeah.
is right.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Breezy did make a comment too. Loves Raymond tonight, and Betsky talked about that before with this anytime point parlay with Tage and Raymond at plus 120. So I like that a lot. All right, let's move on to tomorrow's matchup. We got an 11 game slate. Really,
congratulations
really nice.
on talking about 3 games for 40 minutes again, boys.
I don't know how we do it.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it's congratulations or how did you spend 45 minutes on NHL slate.
I got the receipts if anybody wants to see it of Franco saying let's not do that.
But, yeah, let's not do that. Let's get through this fast. But yeah, obviously here we are. 40 minutes.
It's been a couple days. We like chit-chatting with each other.
And unfortunately, I don't think we're done with tonight's slate. Bet Rivers over half a power play goal minus 125 for the Rangers. That's bettable.
That's not bad at all.
Insane.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to tomorrow's slate for December 10th. We'll start us off Philly at Columbus. Franco Michkov has been on fire lately. He's got 8 points in his last 4 games. Konechny's been great this season as well. However, the Blue Jackets are hot. 6-3-1 in their last 10. They are the favorites for tomorrow. They're minus 112 on the money line. The total is set at 6.5. Juice the under at minus 122. Any plays in this one that you're kind of looking at?
So Michkov point, if it's going to be bettable, I feel like we're getting to the point now, though, where it's starting to get out of that range. I think he was minus 130 last game.
He was.
And I can see that being even worse given this matchup against the the Blue Jackets. I was looking at the Blackhawks thing still pulled up over here. So so I don't know. Given the matchup, I think we're going to see a price that's not going to be super nice, but I feel like if it's anything less than minus 140, I'm going to take it. Farabee 3 shots on goal has been an absolute wagon. I don't know why I don't bet it every game. I've been off and on it for some reason, but this is not the one to hop off of it on. So going to go back to that, especially if it's plus money. I think it was plus 150 last game, which is just crazy. And he finally got off the schneid. He has 4 goals in the season? Yeah, 4 goals in 28 games. Yeah. He's been firing a ton and he's had really rotten puck luck to start the season, I would say. Given how much he's been firing and given the matchup, I don't mind taking a shot at his goal prop as well. So like that a lot. Severson. This is a weird one here. Bear with me. 4 goals in 9 games against Philly. Okay. Defenseman, right? Defensive defenseman. 2 goals in his last 3 games. Heating up just in the right time. So I don't mind taking a shot. Again, this is a long shot play. I'm assuming he's going to be plus 1,000 for a goal, kind of like Vlasic tonight. I don't mind taking a shot given his history against Philly, scoring in almost 50% of games and scoring 2 goals in his last 3. So definitely going to take a shot there.
Yeah, I like that. Betsky, did you have any looks in Philly, Columbus tomorrow?
I'll probably ride Werenski assist if it's still available price. It was minus 110 yesterday against the Jets. Yep. You got another one. Philly's not the sharpest with their goaltending situation right now. But yeah, I'll probably dig more into it once I can actually access some of the data for it. Because I bet you there's some sneaky good Columbus point props. Maybe Kent Johnson still, if that's a bettable price. But I may actually jump off the Michkov train for a minute because I need to see him be able to string more than a 4-game point streak before I'm ready to commit to it. Because it seems like all season long he's hit in 3 to 4 games and then he'll miss 2. So
Werenski has been good. 3 goals, 3 assists in 7 games. So
yeah, he's got 13 assists in his last 12 games overall.
Nice.
So all right, next game up, we got Toronto at New Jersey. Toronto is the road dog in this one, plus 110. New Jersey minus 130. I had a few players circled. Obviously, Jack Hughes has been great as of late. 10 points his last 5 games. Marner's got 18 in his last 10. Nylander shots on goal has been pretty good. Matthews shots on goal has been pretty good. And then on the opposite side of the ice, Hughes shots on goal and Meyer shots on goal. Those are some targets that I had for tomorrow. Franco, any looks for you?
I'm gonna go for that first period over. It's -140, unfortunately, so I might wait live. Devils off a shutout, obviously, and I really like Marner. 2 points, great history against them. Matthews and Marner both have great history against them. Matthews 10 goals in 10 games, 5 assists. Marner 15 points, 10 assists in 9 games. So should see some goals. I like that first period over, like I said. But yeah, Matthews and Marner kind of starting to click. They finally put them together towards the end of that one game, and it's been good since then. So don't mind riding them. Brad assist looks good, and I like Timo Meyer props as well, point and shots.
Yep. I really like both Timo and probably Nico here. Nico has been doing really well at home this season. Last year he was like a road dog. But Hughes was pretty great last night with shots against Colorado. So maybe something to kind of monitor and just see if there's any history leans there. But I would expect a big push from Jersey after last night.
Yeah, New Jersey allows the 5th most shots on goal to defensemen, this season, but I don't really know who you would target on Toronto's side of things. I don't think there's any.
Riley and OEL are too hard to predict at this point.
Yeah.
One thing with that Marner 2 point, are you concerned at all that this is a very different Jersey team than when he was racking up points against them?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
I just feel like that. I feel like Toronto is a different team this year too, right? Like
I agree.
Normally, Toronto is that team that like you can't trust, and I feel like they've been trustworthy. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's still early in the season.
No, we haven't gotten to the playoffs yet.
True, but they look a lot more like a playoff team to me.
Yeah, but like they were a team that they played with the Blackhawks a couple of games ago. They're like -500 or something ridiculous, right? And it's like that was that prime letdown spot that last year they would lose that game or go to overtime or something stupid would happen, and it was like 5-1. They just completely put them to bed right away, and it's just that was not what this team has been. So it's good to see Berube like has them locked in, and I don't know. I saw the look on Marner's face when they tied that one game. I forget what game it was. They're down 2-1. Nashville, right? They put Marner and Matthews together and to start the third period. Got a goal pretty early, like a minute and a half in, and they're going down the handshake line, and Marner just has this look on his face like he's just going to kill someone right now. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Because that's not the guy I'm used to seeing when I look at Mitch Marner. So I feel like they're playing inspired and like a different brand of hockey than we're used to seeing. So give me those points for him.
Nice.
I like it. All right. Next game up, Colorado at Pittsburgh. Colorado is it's they're -170. Pittsburgh +142. Total is set at 6.5. Juice the over at -125. New goaltenders though. Colorado is completely
Pittsburgh money line.
Yeah, I was gonna
we
say
have faded
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh all season though. We've been a Pittsburgh hating show for the first 25 games of this season. Even in our preseason previews, we hated them, and now we're reversing roles.
Yeah, old habits die hard, I guess. But Colorado's coming off a shutout win in a 2-1.
Yeah, who's starting for Colorado? Wedgwood.
It's got to be Wedgwood. I can't imagine.
I can guarantee you one thing: whoever is starting has Wood in their last name.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a nickname then. Like
they have a lot of wood in that.
You gotta start workshopping that on the T-shirt sales.
They have 3 people with Wood in their names.
So Pittsburgh has won 4 of their last 5.
Like wood in a different language, it's not. Nor is it a type of tree. But
Pittsburgh's been hot, guys.
You're getting all the important facts. All the important facts on the show.
So there's another angle here, and I need to look into it to see if it's real or if it's just in my head of the Crosby McKinnon both being from kind of the same area. I think it's not in my golden list, but I think they do have a thing where they step up when they play
They're
against each other.
friends, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
It's a friendly competition, but I think McKinnon or Crosby. I mean, if you can do single point parlay and it's like in the bettable range, I would take that in a second.
I have that circled if it's bettable. I don't know that's going to be.
I don't either, but
Nichushkin has been 4 points his last 3 games. I guess that's kind of the one look I had. And then McKinnon shots on goal. I don't know his history against Pittsburgh, but he has been pretty good as of late.
Averaging 5.1 in 6 games.
What is that?
Averaging 5.1 in 6 games.
Who?
McKinnon, shots on goal.
Okay. And I'll probably go straight to Colton.
Yep. I have McKinnon, Colton, and Crosby all circled for shots.
Yep.
Colton goal as well is worth a sprinkle. And I was looking at Rust goal and Bunting goal. Both of them pop against Colorado for some weird reason. Brian Rust has 4 goals in 6 games. He scored 2 in his last 3 overall. Bunting has 4 goals in 6 games as well. And he has a goal in his last 3. So both should be pretty bettable numbers. Pretty nice numbers. So.
Yeah. All right, next game up, San Jose at Carolina. San Jose plus 360 on the money line. Carolina minus 470. Total set at 6.5. Juice the under at minus 120. Aho, 12 points his last 8 games. Nietzsche's 5 points his last 3. He's been unbelievable this season. Do you just go back to his assist tonight or tomorrow?
I don't know how you don't. I mean, if they're going to give it to you at a bettable price, there's just no reason not to.
It's going to be minus 130, I bet you.
It's fine then.
But I'm still going to take it.
Yeah. It's just insane.
Their power play has been an absolute wagon. So power play point props for Aho, Gostisbehere, and Natchez all look fantastic.
And the floor completely fell out in San Jose against that, and then against the Ice Cats the other day. And I think we're going to start to see that more often, especially with the Blackwood move to Colorado. So Georgiev is coming over. Who knows if Georgiev's starting in this? But who is their backup right now? It doesn't matter. Whoever is
Vitek's the other goalie right now.
Jeez, yeah.
So it's Vitek, and then they have Askarov, but they're not going to call Askarov up.
Starting tomorrow, right?
No, I would imagine it's going to be Vanacek starting,
which is going to be just brutal. So this is where I'd probably try to look in for like Aho at 2 points. I'm writing that down now. Or Natchez at 2 points.
Yep.
Ghost Point has been bettable every game for some reason, and I assume it's going to be minus 110 tomorrow. Of all the players, he's the guy that pops the most above Aho, Natchez, Jarvis, everybody else. He has 7 points in 7 games against San Jose.
Love that. Holy cow.
That should be a bettable straight.
And this will be probably the first game in a long time that I don't take Celebrini shots. I'll ride it all season long, but I'm gonna let it potentially miss and let the price get nicer. And 50 shots on goal for that. 54 shots on goal. I think they ended up.
How many shots will Carolina have?
This is do the same game parlay with the shots. The only thing that worries me is Florida doesn't mind. Just that game stayed close, actually. That game was 3-1. So they had reasons to just keep on hammering it, where Carolina, Rod Brundamore gets that team to just turn into like a python and just like slowly suffocate the opponent if they take the lead. So that would be my only concern. But after that Florida game, I don't think there's any reason to not just make a dumb same game parlay with all the Carolina guys at their normal lines.
Does it matter that Carolina is 1-9? I think that plays into it even more, that they're going to just absolutely kill this team.
Never mind. Yeah. Wow.
So when you look at Carolina, I mean, Carolina's puck line at minus 1.5 right now is still minus 175, which is kind of ridiculous.
Minus 174.
Take their team total over 4.5. That's got to be plus money.
4.5 is insane. Why would you just? I don't care.
They're going to score 8 goals.
That's
This is going to be like that
crazy.
Tampa game. This is going to be like that
So
Tampa.
take the over at 6.5 at even money.
They're going to kill them. They're going to absolutely kill
Yeah.
them. 4.5
The
is
over's
plus
right there.
125.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on. Carolina
nope.
first period -0.5 is -110. Bam, done.
They just need to score in the first.
Yep, score. Well, win
Lead.
the first period.
They're leading after the first.
Yeah. Sorry, that same thing.
I mean, Carolina
What is
first
that?
period team total over 1.5 is plus 170. I don't mind that.
I don't either.
I think they're gonna just like
Yeah,
murder
this
these
isn't
guys.
this isn't where you question it.
Yeah.
No.
And
I
it's
like that
not
look.
like
Where's
the
first
Sharks
period?
are not a
First
team that
period.
are in a position to bounce back after. And again, that was a close game. I keep on thinking it was like 7. Oh, that was against Tampa.
Yeah, 8-1 against Tampa.
And
I think
the
we're
close
gonna- I
game was their nice.
I think
their
we're gonna
nice
see
game
something
against
similar.
Florida, even though they allowed 50 plus shots to Florida. Every
Yeah.
single person on Florida hit their shots on goal line and upped by 1.
That's
Every
insane.
single player. You could have just blindly selected them all at their normal line and then blindly just played them all 1 up, and you would have hit both.
Yeah, if only you played the correct lottery numbers too.
True, but guess what's coming up in January?
Oh, a rematch?
Florida going to San Jose and Anaheim, and
Oh,
Anaheim
Jesus.
playing in Florida. It's all within a week, baby. Just get ready to retire.
Let it fly.
Yeah.
Get ready
Yeah.
to retire.
You got to put a reminder in
Hopefully
your
he's still
phone right
playing
now
well,
for that.
though. January is always kind of a scary time frame.
Yeah.
All right, next game up, LA at New York.
Oh, I.
Yep. Kings minus 122. The Islanders are plus 102. Total is set at 5.5. Juice the under. Dobson has 5 points his last 4 games. Horvat's got 4 points his last 3 games. That's all I had. This is going to be a game that I don't watch.
Yeah, I'm fine with just like not even talking about it. to be
Yeah,
honest.
Franco, unless you had something.
I'll give you a couple plays, but I don't love these. Moore point, Peugeot point,
right.
and Dobson point. And we can move on.
Yep. Perfect. All right. Boston at Winnipeg. Boston plus 124. Winnipeg minus 148. Boston 7-3 in their last 10. They're on a 4-game win streak. I forgot to mention LA is also on a 5-game win streak as well. Shifley, point. It's not going to be bettable. It could be a parlay piece tomorrow. That's all I really had in this one, unless you guys had any plays on Boston or Winnipeg side.
Maybe look at Pasta with
The
He's
shots
banged
haven't been terrible. Yeah.
He's banged up though, too.
Okay, I don't know then. Yeah,
I
pass.
wrote down no, so that's the fact
Mason
that I
Lohrei
found 3
point.
the fact that I found 3 plays in LA Kings and New York. I'm saying no to this game is all you need to
Let's
know.
move. Let's move. Screw it. Screw it.
Yeah. All right. Calgary at Nashville. Calgary plus 130, Nashville minus 155, total set at 6. Nashville 2-5-3 in their last 10. Backlund shots on goal, Kadri shots on goal, and then Huberdeau's got 5 points his last 4 games. That's what I had in this one.
This is another pass for me.
Any plays from you guys? No,
I feel like unders. I feel like unders with Nashville have been cashing like crazy. Not that I want to bet them, but even if you like a team against Nashville, they're not scoring like 4 or 5 goals. It's like 3-1 is the final. Nashville is inept.
I mean, the last 3 games we talked about could be unders: Kings, Islanders, Boston, Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Calgary, Nashville.
I don't know. I'm out. I'm out on Nashville.
All right, let's move to an exciting game then. Tampa Bay at Edmonton. Edmonton minus 148. They're at home. Total set at 6.5 minus 118. Kucherov shots on goal. Hagel shots on goal. And then the list for points goes all the way down. Hedman's got 7 points in his last 5. Kucherov's got 8 points in his last 4. Point has 13 in his last 6. And Hagel's got 10 in his last 8. McDavid's 13. In his last 13 games, he's got 27 points. Franco, did I miss any, or did you have any other looks?
No, those all sound fantastic. I'm going to just be stupid and take Kucherov at 2 and McDavid at 2 as a parlay because I just, given the histories of both of them, last year, especially with how both of their historic paces that they were on, I like that a lot. I imagine that's going to be a really nice number. I like Hagel goal and Hagel point as if you can bet point straight. I don't know that you can. But
I don't know if you can anymore.
Yeah, probably not.
I'd probably look at Hagel shots too, though, because he is.
Yep.
Like
Hagel and Kucherov shots.
Career year. I'd probably
this
look
game
at
should be fun
too.
This game should be fun.
This should be a really fun game. One thing I've been doing is taking Dry and McDavid 2 points and then adding like a Bouchard assist. And
yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Unfortunately, Bouchard didn't get his assist the other night, but both of them got the 2. So if you want to water that down, you can take out Bouchard, but when you use all 3, it's like plus 300.
I like it. Minnesota at Utah. Minnesota minus 125, Utah plus 105. Total set at 5.5. Betsky, you just beat up on the Sabres. You beat the Flyers.
Yeah.
The king of the castle right now on this podcast.
Feels great.
So
feels great. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Had to mention that. Any plays that we should look out in this one on the Utah side?
I mean, Cooley has been insane lately. He's really kind of blossoming into a 1C in front of us right now. Now, Minnesota has been just insanely good defensively, but this has been a long road trip for them. So I may think about doing a Cooley point as just like a straight. I'm also going to kind of look into Gunther shots and just see what his shot volume is and see if there's any thing there with Minnesota, because this could be one of those games where Minnesota gets a lead early and Utah is trying to get back into it. I want to lean into Kaprizov, but maybe the power play point would be a smart thing. Utah's taking the most penalties in the league or allowing the most power play opportunities to opponents in the league. So Boldy or Kaprizov power play point may be really good. They've been a little stingy on shots, Utah. Or at least it's been up and down, but
yeah, I had Boldy and Kaprizov shots on goal. Both have been pretty good as of late.
Yeah. So I may think about that too, but that's probably, enough.
Yeah. Franco, did we miss any in this one?
Yeah, you missed a really big one, actually. Nick Bjugstad, goal. He loves playing this team. Former player, obviously, but 4 goals in 6 games against them. If you can get his shots too, he averages 2.5 shots in those 6 games. Like if we can get his 1.5, I'll love that a lot. But yeah, I'm getting his goal for sure. I don't care that he's been bumped off the top line. He's playing with Michelli now, which is, we know he's a setup man. So like that a lot.
Love it. All right, 2 games to go. Penultimate one, we got St. Louis at Vancouver. Vancouver minus 180 on the money line. Total set at 6. Juice the under at minus 122. DeBrusk has been fantastic in terms of shots on goal as of late. I had him circled. Pettersson's got 9 points in his last 6. Quinn Hughes has 13 in his last 7. Holloway is another guy that we mentioned even today. He's been great. He's got 9 points in his last 6. And then Buchnevich has a point in his last 5. Betsky or Franco, any other looks for you guys?
You got most of them. I really like Thomas Point as a parlay piece. I would maybe take him with somebody else or maybe go for his assist. Looks really good. Pettersson and Hughes Point, if I can do that still, I'm going to keep doing it, especially in this matchup. And for whatever reason, Pius Suter pops against them. 3 goals in 5 games, 2 goals in his last 3. So I'll be sprinkling him as well. He's playing with Garland and Joshua, so I like that line a lot as like an alternative production line from them. Did
you say Petey and Hughes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's like auto at this point. It should be on your card every single night. I just forget it sometimes. But if it's anything less than minus 130.
Yeah, in terms of DeBrusk shots on goal, St. Louis gives up the 10th most to forwards this season as well, adding to that. All right, last game of the night, Florida at Seattle. Seattle plus 145, Florida minus 175. Total is set at 6. Bennett's got 8 points in his last 7. That was bettable as a straight for a while. I think it's still maybe, but I think it's going to creep up to that minus 130, minus 145 range. Kachuk's got 15 in his last 6.
He has been on another level.
Yeah, he has.
It's been pretty impressive.
And Franco, your boy, Vince Dunn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 points in his last 4.
He's the engine on this team. They've been inept offensively for weeks, months, feels like. And he comes back, and now they put up, they have 7 against the Rangers the other day.
Yeah.
Don't mind if I can get done point straight, I'll take that. The big elephant in the room is Montour, his first game coming back. Give me all the props, shots, goal, point. I'm going to take all of them. I think you take Kachuk 2 points, maybe sprinkle his goal. 7 goals and 8 against them, 11 total points. Bennett assist looks fantastic if you have to pivot off the point prop. 3 assists in 4 games against them, so I like that a lot. If you can bet his point straight, I'd rather take that, though, to be honest.
Yeah. You should be able to. The total's only at 6. I don't think they're going to bump it that high.
That could be, yeah. One weird one is Adam Boquist has 3 points in 2 games against them. I don't think they're going to give us his prop, but I know he's been in and out of that power play unit. It doesn't look like he played there, so that's not going to be bettable. Never mind, just kidding. Last one is Bjorkstrand point. So he's been red hot, and I'm not hopping off that wagon. I don't know why I just didn't bet hockey yesterday, and like all the guys I would have bet cashed. It was just frustrating to watch. So
yeah,
Bjorkstrand has 5 points in his last 3 games. He's been red hot.
Love it. Just as a reminder for tonight, here's our parlay. Donato over 1.5 shots on goal, Kulik over 1.5 shots on goal, and then Brandon Gallagher over 1.5 shots on goal. That gets you to plus 253 on DraftKings. New customers can get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. All right, before we wrap up, we got 10 minutes before ice time. Franco, let's just recap your card one more time. We got 850 people watching right now, so let's give everyone who joined late a little update on our plays for tonight.
There we go. Chicago, New York, I am not playing too heavily. Detroit Sabres, I'm not playing too heavily. I'm going to sprinkle the draw, I think, with all being said there. I do have a 3-leg goal scorer prop with Larkin, Kreider, and Caulfield. I like that a lot. Raymond Point looks like a decent parlay piece as well. It's obviously juice to the gills, as they say. Moving to New York and Chicago, I'm going to hop with Betsky on the Panarin props, 2 points and 3 points. I think both are worth a look, especially the 2-point prop as a nice straight. I like Donato over 2.5 shots on goal at plus 130. Trocheck goal at plus 210 looks really good. And then moving on to the last game, Anaheim and Montreal, I like Hudson point at minus 110. I like that parlay between Suzuki and Caulfield to record a point each. And then I'm going to hop on the Hudson power play point as well at plus 300-ish.
Love it. Yeah, I only have 3 plays. Riley Smith in that Chicago-New York Rangers game, over 1.5 shots on goal. That's minus 135. Chris Kreider to be the shots on goal leader at plus 750. That's going to be for a quarter of a unit, though, so be sure to sprinkle on that one. And then Cole Caulfield over 3.5 shots on goal at plus 110 on DraftKings. Betsky, your card for tonight.
Yeah, Panarin 2 points. I just found the best price on
a competitor
than DK, but
okay.
You can find it for some different prices out there, but
you'll tweet that out, I'm sure, right?
You can get it from around 110 to plus 135. So just found that. And then 3 points at plus 500 on DraftKings as well. Looks very, very good to me for a sprinkle. He's done it 3 out of his last 6 against Chicago, the team that drafted him and also traded him to Columbus. Tage plus Raymond point as a parlay, same game parlay is plus 118, which just feels dumb not to take.
Yep.
Caulfield 3.5 shots on goal, like you said, just kind of feels like I might as well. And then Suzuki and Caulfield point minus 105 if you stack those. And I like that Hudson power play as like a little sprinkle as well.
Yeah, I guess the only thing you have to worry about with Raymond is the James Reimer revenge angle tonight. He has been confirmed in for the Sabres.
Dude's older than me. I'm not too concerned.
There it is. All right. Well, we want to thank everyone for tuning in for tonight. Be sure to check out our individual Twitters. You got Franco the Banker, myself at Gator Betting, and Gretzky Betskis. All our social media channels, actually, for Expected Bets 4. We got a YouTube, an Instagram, and a Twitter. So be sure to follow along on that as well. The parlay for tonight, as I discussed, has been posted. We appreciate all of our sponsors, Game Time and DraftKings. So with that being said, we will talk to everyone Wednesday. We appreciate you guys for listening and have a great night.